So straight from that medal ceremony to the start of the women's pairs, and straight into the lead, as we can see there in lane 4, Germany, Lenka Vech and Maren Derlien, out of the German women's 8, which finished 4th in Munich a month ago. Romania, Adelina Cojucaru and Nicoleta Albu, both 19 years old, in lane 3, the other pole position for this race. And they're struggling there a little bit to hang on. You can see them at the left of your picture. But bottom left, we have Joanny Lafez and Elodie Roubaud of France in the lane closest to the camera, that is to say lane 6. So in lane 5 in the lead, Pochicheva and Podvyazkina from Russia, 11th overall in Munich. And closer to them on their left in lane 6, France, Lafez and Roubaud. Aforementioned, a minute and a half of this race gone. But it's the Germans miles out in front. Lenka Vech, medical doctor, and 31 years old, with Maren Derlien, 32. So those two have been round the block 2 or 3 times. And Lenka Vech took a couple of years off, assisted with this commentary back in 2005. Now back in the boat, going for the Beijing Olympics. That's her on the bows, on the right of your picture. And those two tried for the pair, which they lost to Zimmermann and Hitler, Elke Hitler and Nicole Zimmermann of Germany, who eventually got a bronze medal at Munich, and they went into the 8, Vech and Derlien, and took 4th place. So they're here for a medal to make something of this season, which didn't go quite their way, and leading this field comfortably at the moment. .33 strokes to the minute across the field, really. That's the race pace for these pairs. Flat conditions, you do what you like, but the most efficient gearing, that is to say the relationship between the amount of the oar that's inside the boat, between you and the mechanical point of resistance, the gate, and the amount outboard from the gate. And the more you have outboard, the heavier the gearing is, the heavier the boat is, and the lower the number of strokes to the minute. But the point is, as we go through 1,000, respectable time, 3:34 in these conditions. As you can see, oily flat water, and there is a massive margin of, it was 6 seconds over Russia at 500 meters, and it's 10 seconds over Russia at halfway. So the pair that didn't make the Germany team for Munich and went into the 8 instead, in the lead by 10 seconds over the 11th placed pair from the Munich World Championships. It's beginning to look a bit heavily geared there, not quite so sharp through the water. Focusing on France now. Joanny Lafez in the bow seat and Elodie Roubaud closest to the camera in the stroke seat. They're in the middle of the lane, but the crew next to them, Russia in lane 5, rather close to the boys on one side. Lenka Vech in the bow seat of that German pair is also steering it, but she's allowed it to come across onto the boys, and she is in danger of catching her blade on one of the boys. It's very close to those yellow boys, the bow blade, and she's looking across at it and telling her partner to slack off and let her get back in the middle of the lane. At least that's what I imagine she's saying. Very close to the boys, in danger of catching one of the boys, and thereby catching a crab and disrupting the flow of the boat. So Germany's supremacy in this race as we come through to 1500 meters will be demonstrated by the time elapsed before we see another crew through the line. We're not going to get the privilege of seeing another crew through the line. They're so far ahead. The GPS timing system has given me 12 seconds. That's the interval between gold medal for Germany and silver medal for the Russian Federation. The Germans would have to catch one of those boys with a blade and could probably get back into the boat and still win this race, even if they were tipped in. But now back in the middle of the lane and looking very comfortable indeed as they come to 350 meters to go. Germany in the lead by a mile. Further back, it's 12 seconds to the Russian Federation in second place, 16 seconds to Romania in third place, 22 seconds to Poland in fourth, 25 seconds to Lithuania in fifth, and 26 seconds to France in sixth place. There is a race between Lithuania and France for fifth and sixth. There is no race for this gold medal, which is going to go with utmost clarity to Lenka Vech and Maren Derlien of Germany, 32 and 31 years old respectively, and they're showing every ounce of their experience and background and their training. Very high level of training in the German team. Didn't have the most brilliant world championships at their own home water of Munich, so here they are to make sure that the season brings something very substantial home. So a street ahead. Now there is a bit of a race developing now between Romania in lane 3 and Russia in lane 5 for silver medal. Romania closing up on Russia, but it is still an interval of probably 2 seconds down from 4, and it does not look possible for the Romanians to catch. So it will be Russia, Vera Pochitaeva in the bow seat, and Alevitina Podviatskina in the stroke seat. In silver medal position, Adelina Cojercaru from Romania with Nicoleta Albu in the stroke seat in bronze medal. And now 3 boats level pegging for the line, with France, so long last, in 4th place, with Poland in 5th place, and on the far side Lithuania in 6th. Those were the 6 entries for this event. No petite finale, B final they're called these days, showing my harking back to Moscow 1973 when they were grand finale and petite finale, because French was the language of international rowing, replaced since then by English. Second place to the Russian Federation, Pochitaeva and Podviatskina. It is for federations like Russia and right through Europe, the federations which have to argue for money with their governments that this championships has been put on, because most national governments will finance federations to go to an international championships, and they will not necessarily finance them for full 12 months a year training, which is required these days. The consequence is that the more championships they can go to, the better for them. World Cups don't count, European Championships